So before the Itel S23 series, we all knew Itel as budget entry-level smartphone producers. And almost all of your phones had some cut corners to keep it cheap. And in my point of view, I think the Itel S23 was Itel's way of saying we don't do that anymore. And with the new Itel S24, I can say firsthand they've made a lot of changes. And they've also kept some things that, well, didn't just feel right. For design, there's really not a lot to say. We still get the same circular raised camera module that we got on its predecessor, the S23, but though this one is slightly bigger than its predecessor, and there's also two color variants on this phone, which are the black and the white. I think the white looks the nicest. The black is called Starry Black. I don't really know the name of the white version, but yeah, the white does look the nicest. And the white is the only one that has that color changing thing that we got on its predecessor that looked really cool. But I would say the nicest thing about this design is the way that nothing too much is going on, formerly known as minimalistic. For build, it's made out of plastic. Both the rails and the back are made out of plastic, but the rails are matte and they don't get any fingerprints. So the only place that gets fingerprints on this phone is the camera module. We also get 3 speakers on this phone, which is really nice, and we still get a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, which I know is fast and is also secure, but it's not as cool as an optical under-display fingerprint scanner, which I know we all understand. You get a hybrid SIM card tray on this phone, and if you're asking, it does come with expandable storage of up to 512 gigabytes. But out of the box, it does come with 128 gigabytes of storage. I don't know if Itel forgot or they made a mistake, but this phone has a 3.5mm headphone jack, but it doesn't come with a headphone jack in the box. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Maybe Itel were playing, or maybe they just wanted to cut budgets, maybe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Overall, the Itel S24's design and build quality is really good, but I would say that there aren't really any significant upgrades from its predecessor. The display is another category where we get slight upgrades. For specs, we get a 6.6-inch 720p 90Hz IPS LCD display, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that big, but on this phone, instead of that dreaded notch we got on the S23, we now get a hole punch, which makes this phone look a whole lot modern. The resolution still isn't the best, but it is good while watching content like YouTube or watching movies. The refresh rate, however, is really good. It can definitely last, or it's fast enough for anybody buying this phone. You can also switch it from auto refresh to 60Hz to 90Hz, which is a great option, but I know some people will leave it on auto refresh to preserve battery life. But to get the overall experience of this device and the overall experience with the 90Hz refresh rate, you can definitely leave it on 90Hz, which is really good. And also on this phone, we get a feature called Ultra Touch, which allows you to enhance your swipe speed while using the device. But just like the design, we don't get any significant or major upgrades from its predecessor. But before you flood the comments saying Itel is still Itel, here are 3 categories which Itel made huge improvements. But before that, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to drop a like. Also, by this point, you should know what you think of the phone, so drop it down in the comments. And also, make sure to subscribe. Now, with the first category, which is the performance. Now, last year, with the S23, Itel gave us the Unisoc T606 processor, which was a slightly good processor. It was for those people who don't use their phone a lot, like moderate users. But this year, they went almost all out. They went with the MediaTek Helio G91 processor, which is a good processor. It's a 12nm processor, and basically the best processor I've seen in an Itel phone. But it isn't all that good. Multitasking on this phone was really good. You could definitely switch to your favorite apps with ease. It also comes with 4 gigs of RAM and 4 gigs of virtual RAM, but even with those extra 4 gigs, you still get some lags here and there. Gaming on this phone was really good. It could play PUBG at the highest of frame rate, which some phones can't do. But with this test, gameplay on this phone was really nice. I really did not notice any lags. But yeah, performance on this phone was really good. Now, software is a category that I was really shocked about. This phone is running on Android 13, which isn't all that good because most phones that came out this year or half of last year came out with Android 14. So this phone didn't get all those cool Android 14 AI features that we got on most phones. But this phone does come with its own AI generated voice assistant, which is called Aviana. It can do tasks like write a script, you can ask it questions, it can do minimal stuff like that. Now for software updates, I'm not really sure about the maximum years of software updates. Probably will get like 2 to 3 years, maybe even 2, maybe maximum 2. But let's just keep our fingers crossed that we might get those maximum of software updates. This phone comes with a 108 megapixel camera and a depth sensor. But basically, the 108 megapixel camera takes all the shots. The depth sensor just helps. And photos on this phone were shockingly impressive. They had a lot of color accuracy, especially when taking photos of plants and inanimate objects. But this phone shoots at 12 megapixels on default. So I think most people using this phone will be shooting on the default lens. But if you want that 108 megapixel camera, you can switch it on the camera settings app. For video, it shoots max at 2K, which is really good. It also comes with stabilization, which is really nice. This phone comes with a 5000 mAh battery, which I believe has become the norm now in mid-range and budget devices. But yeah, this phone can last you a full day of use, maybe even more if you're a moderate user. But I know I've said that a lot, but it's actually true. If you're a heavy user, it should last you about 6 to 7 to 8 hours of battery life. And if this phone actually dies, it can charge with its 18-watt fast charger. I won't call it a fast charger, it's more like a slow charger. But yeah, it comes with an 18-watt charger in the box, which isn't all that fast, but it is an upgrade from its predecessor, which had 10 watts. But with all that said, performance and cameras are the only things I saw upgrades in. But if Itel decides that they want to give this phone about 2 to 3 years of software updates, this phone would be a really good phone. And overall, this device is good enough for those people who don't want to spend a lot of money for a phone. This phone is more like a value for money. But yeah, that's my review on the Itel S24. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe. Also, let me know what you think of the phone in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.